Tea being China's national beverage, the Chinese people are highly discerning of its quality and well-versed in tea-drinking rituals. Their esteem for tea springs from the lofty emotions its subtle flavour unfailingly elicits. Quality tea leaves, brewed to perfection in a fine porcelain teapot and served in dainty cups, elevates the spirits and brings out the best of human emotions. He Huawen is a young tea person, someone who seeks moral cultivation through the practice of tea art that entails being a connoisseur not only of flavour, but of tea ware. As long as there's tea, there will be tea ware to serve and drink it from. It was a Ding porcelain tea set that enkindled He Huawen's enduring appreciation for fine tea ware. Its maker was Xue Xinglin from distant Quyang County in Hebei Province. He presented it to He Huawen long ago.
做定瓷首先要定力，对吧？要耐住这个整个的这个过程，这就是寂寞的过程。所以我们能够通过把做定瓷的研究到这么多年的这种创作，这几年。 更愿意是把做定瓷这件事当成生命的一部分。
It's the winter solstice in Ruokang Township of Qimen County in Anhui's southern mountainous area. He Huawen has come here this morning to meet with one of its residents. The warm climate, distinctive geological environment and high-yield quality tea trees here have produced the world-renowned Qimen black tea, also known as Qimen black tea. But the local tea farmers expend considerable time and energy on attaining nature's distinctive Qimen tea leaves. Liu Yuan said deep in the mountains at an altitude of 800 meters is a remote village of Ruokang Township. Upon traversing the mountain pass, a broad vista of alpine tea gardens comes into view. This is the home of the man He Huawen has come to see. Li Xiaodong began picking and making tea with his father on his return here 20 or more years ago at the end of his period of active military service. Black tea of all varieties, each with distinct features, is Li's specialty. December's deep midwinter is when the tea leaves destined for an aesthetic encounter with tasteful teaware start to sprout and grow. Li has been disgruntled since dropping his phone in the water while fishing the other day. It contains the contact information for his tea pickers.
就没有，我是这2天没有时间到县里去，本来到县去买手机了，你知道吧？他卡上在我卡上，那我这次不定找不着了。
未来里面的产业，我们要有一个很好的规划，野茶面积扩大一点。
那明年就是以做野茶给那个为主了。
对，明年我们以野茶为主，因为现在。哎，雨，在外面一定要注意啊！冬天来了多穿点衣服。
好的。
那这样的，爸爸这边在这边比较忙啊，就没有什么时间经常跟你联系了。你有空就给爸爸视频吧。
外面能多穿点衣服，李玉。
好。爸爸多穿点。
我跟爸爸在这都好，不用担心哦。
Li Xiaodong often fishes from the reservoir contracted to his household. Thanks to plentiful rain in the coming year, both fish and tea will be a source of subsistence for the whole family. If there were no fish, Li and his wife could live on pork and bamboo shoots. But without tea, they would find it impossible to make ends meet. Xue Xinglin is from Chuyang County, Hebei Province. His chance encounter with Ding porcelain turned out to be love at first sight, as he immediately began learning its throwing and firing techniques from a master potter living in the mountains. He's now an inheritor of the Ding porcelain craft. Ding porcelain is jade white, paper thin, pings like a bell, and has an irresistibly classic elegance. When taking a break from firing, Xue Xinglin comes here to look through these stacks of porcelain fragments. He selects and scrutinizes various pieces and gains knowledge and inspiration from them. To him, these porcelain fragments are precious clues in his perplexing quest to innovate Ding porcelain. Besides spending time examining these fragments, Xue Xinglin often visits Chuyang County's Beiyue Temple. The temple was built in the northern and southern dynasties between the 4th and 6th centuries. Its tranquil, harmonious ethos deepens Xue Xinglin's understanding of the Buddhist practice of letting go, a mindset choice born of the wisdom of life. The soul defines the person, who is in turn reflective of the world. The epiphany Xue Xinglin experienced upon sight of Ding porcelain led to his enlightenment, and he subsequently created his Letting Go teaware series. In addition to studying existing glaze colors, Xue Xinglin also searches the surrounding mountains for raw materials to use in his formulation of other ceramic glazes. By winter's end, he's taken almost 1,000 mineral samples. Each of them he'll experiment with by incorporating into a glaze, which he will then fire.
Look around, whispering on treetops, blossoming at our feet. The earth lives and breathes a fearless beauty that nourishes us, physically and spiritually. It is now up to us to give back what we take.
As winter subsides, nature reawakens. It's still chilly at the eastern foot of Quyang County's Taihang Mountain, but the temperature in southern Anhui's mountainous area is gradually rising. Sprouting tea trees are visible through the fine mist. Under the nurture of sunshine and rain, they'll soon yield an abundance of tea. The old tea trees Li's forefathers left him stand on a small plot at the cliff edge, the shortest distance possible from the waterfall. Climbing the 100-metre-high cliff is of far less concern to Li than getting in touch with his tea pickers. This is because all his tea leaves must be picked before Tomb Sweeping Day, a national holiday in early April. Over the past week, Li has picked around 100,000 buds each day, but that's nowhere near the projected sales demand for the year.
Hey, 哪里？吃饭了没有？
还在做呢，还没有吃，在忙好这个事。
哦，那你那个野茶准备什么时候采呢？
我现在开始采了一点点，正在联系茶工，茶工到了就大量的采，不然来不及了。
哦，行，那到时候我过来看了，到时候再给你订一些。好好好，嗯，好。
The tea harvest season is flashing past, but as Li hasn't been able to contact his tea pickers, his cousin in Shanghai has come to help. This is work that brooks no delay.
我嫂子他们一天4点多就起来了，到山上要5点多钟，他们一天采茶下来到傍晚6点多才下山。
Just as Li is beginning to grow anxious, a group of tea pickers arrives on schedule. This ancestral temple, built almost 100 years ago, has witnessed the stories of many locals. Li is satisfied with the amount of tea buds picked today. The next and most urgent task is to process them into tea leaves before dark. The first step is withering. There are many facets to the seemingly repetitious process. On this occasion, He Huawen does not go directly from Shanghai to Li and Ximen, but instead arrives at the tea bud trading market at the foot of the mountain. To facilitate the trading of their freshly plucked tea buds, tea farmers spontaneously organize a market at the fork of the mountain road. At 3 p.m, tea farmers descend the mountain with their fresh tea buds. As a seller's market, the tea farmers here can name their own price. In the coming weeks, thousands of kilos of tea buds will be traded here and in the many other temporary markets in the area.
Last 去年下雪把茶叶冻掉了，今年的产量很低。
去年的上雪对这个茶叶影响很大。
是啊。
Although these days tea processing is generally mechanized, Li still works with traditional tools.
第一箱茶叶就冻掉了，然后高山茶叶没冻。
Li and his wife work well together. Handmade tea is a complicated process. It involves countless repetitious actions. But despite this, Li cherishes each tea bud. People today are quite casual about tea. But Li has always revered his destined role in its creation. Withering, kneading, fermentation, baking and other procedures finally produced the gold-edged Ximen black tea.
This is 昨天晚上做起来的茶叶，我就是给它品一下，看怎么样。
颜色汤色不错，
汤色不错，
口感也行。
这几天天气比较晴朗，这个做起来的味道要香一点。这边故宫都是江西人。
Although just a leaf, tea bears witness to people, things, and light. Tea ware is more than just an object in being something that both bears and contains. The destined encounter of tea with tea ware is a meeting of rigidness and fluidity. A craftsman's perception of a clay's fine texture is crucial to the object he creates. From kneading and throwing to glazing and firing, each step promotes a creation wrought of human wisdom, clay, and fire. 21-year-old Zhang Aofeng, the youngest on Xue Xinglin's team, is a skilled porcelain thrower. Diagnosed as severely autistic as a child, his study of Ding porcelain throwing has, under Xue Xinglin's guidance, helped him gradually to overcome this disability.
不管是就是说，我们从业多少年，那我们可能此生是追不上古人的， 因为首先来讲的话呢，就咱们做瓷最重要的就是一个心态和心智的问题。所以说呢，就是一定要把心静下来。我们做定瓷子要定，这个定就很重要。这个定，人不定下来，怎么能静下来？不静下来去怎么去思考问题呢？
The semi-finished porcelain having been placed in the kiln, there follows the long wait for the bonding of clay and fire. After 12 hours of firing comes another 12 hours of cooling, and someone needs to be present throughout the entire process. At the instant the kiln door opens, Xue Xinglin's worries evaporate.
老好，不错不错，过来看看，拿个底座来，咱们试一下。这才是咱们理想中的罗汉盏。咱们烧了这第几窑？
是第6盘，
第6窑了吧？好，这次的釉子成色非常棒，啊，大功告成啊，咱们
出来了是吧？
啊，成功，啊。
Xue Xinglin's Letting Go series of Ding porcelain teaware is permeated with Zen.
其实这套我们的罗汉盏18罗汉盏系列全是按定窑的复烧法。我们是来自于钵，对吧？它是没有底座的，就是我们人是拿得起放不下，非常躁动。那又从我们通过定瓷这种载体，对吧？如何让你拿得起放得下？是你心中得有个定扣，叫平安扣。 所以说，我们就是设计了这套平安扣罗汉盏。平安扣也代表着我们的一种信仰，对信仰、对平安的一种这种信仰，对生活的信仰。那这样的话呢，我们就有了定扣，我们才能够让一个无底座的东西有了定性，这样子的。但是如果你不好好的放，你只是说很随性的放，它是也放不平的，对吧？因为它没有一个固定的。那我们需要呢，对生活、对茶、对气的一种敬畏之心，对自然生命的一种敬畏之心。 那我们就会变得非常的平和和中正。你心越中正，你放的就越稳。如果说茶人、瓷人，真正我们把心都聚中在一起去完成一套生活的器皿的时候，我想那种载体的容量是非常大的。
Upon contact with boiling water, tea leaves dynamically roll and buckle before sinking to the bottom of the cup and assuming their everyday appearance. To He Huawen, the taste of tea evokes Li's day-to-day life as a tea farmer, led at his own calm pace and in accordance with his inner life. It also accords with Xue Xinglin's mindset in creating Ding porcelain. The tea-drinking ritual is emblematic of the dynamic between fine tea and teaware that is the touchstone for a rhythm of life whose tranquil elements they holistically engender and exude.